Man, we live, man. Chat Star Taylor. Don't forget the $sign. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all them good vibes. And we back with another reaction. And this time, I don't really know what we're reacting to. You know what I'm saying? We've been going down the rabbit hole. I know we got an album coming out, I think. But Tom got a major announcement. So I was like, fuck it. Let's check it out. He said, I'm really scared. I be scared every time I click on the video. So that makes two of us, Tom. But we about to check it out. Let's get it. You heard?
I just hit on my niggas. I just hit on my niggas and tell all my niggas that this is the year we gon' make it. This is the
All right, guys. We gotta have a really important talk. On Friday, April 25th at 9 a.m., my brand new album, Proud to Be a Problem, is dropping exclusively at hangovergang.com. This is my first solo album in almost...
I ain't gonna lie, that's fire to drop the album directly on the website. You know what I'm saying? That's just like consumer to, you know what I mean, product person. That's like direct, so I fuck with that.
3 years at hangovergang.com. This is my first solo album in almost 3 years.
Damn.
And it was a hell of a journey to get to this moment. Now,
what was the last album? And should I check that? What's some songs off the last album I should check out before I listen to this one?
over the years, you've probably built up an image in your head of what to expect when I give you a new album. So I'm just warning you right now, throw those expectations out the window. Over the past few years, I think that we've had a lot of fun together. I made songs with Roseanne, and I made songs with Ben Shapiro, and I made some of the most viral music that I've ever made in my life. But as fun and as big and as crazy as it's been, I feel like it's been missing something.
This is crazy, because for him to say that, I know you've been listening to my music, and I know you guys know what to expect from me, but every time I click on his song, I have no idea what to expect. It's kind of crazy to me.
Me. Been missing something. Me. You see, people know what they want from me, and I know what people want from me. So in an effort to make everybody happy and give everybody what they wanted, I ended up making myself very unhappy. It's like somewhere along the way, I just lost sight of what was most important. And that's just to be myself and not just be the guy who breaks the internet all the time. It's
that's really dope. I was watching this Will Smith interview. I want to say it was on the Drink Champs, so check that shit out. But he said that people often equate with like you hit rock bottom and you have to like find yourself. You know what I mean? But Will Smith said, and it's kind of sounds similar to what Tom says, it's like he calls it the cliff theory, where you keep going up, you just keep working and working and working and working and working and working and working, and to the point you just hit a cliff and you fall off the cliff, you know? And he said basically that feeling of falling off the cliff is you're doing so many things that you lose sight. Like he said, there's an end of everything. He said you can get money, and then there's just the end of the thrill of getting money. He said there's an end of sex, there's an end of clothes, there's an end of stuff. And he says within that, once you hit that off the cliff moment where nothing can make you happy, you've done everything. He said at that moment you have to, it's about finding yourself, because you are what makes yourself happy. And he says that's the kind of the same emotion you hit rock bottom, where you've been compressed by so much stress, you lose yourself, and then you have to now find yourself and put yourself back together to, you know, to keep climbing. So sounds like, you know what I mean, kind of a similar theory here.
3 songs about, and not just be the guy who breaks the internet all the time. It's 23 songs about addiction and heartbreak and going against the system and love and depression and anxiety and loneliness and success and defeat and never giving up even in the face of that defeat. There's no clickbait, there's no gimmicks, there's no writers, there's no Hollywood bull. This album isn't me doing anything for anyone. This album is me doing something for myself. It's me saying exactly what I want to say.
Do y'all feel like his music is a little gimmicky or like is made in an attempt to go viral? You know what I mean? Do y'all feel like that? Because he said he's kind of been intentionally doing that or developing a name off of that. But do y'all feel that way about his music? Because I think some of the songs I tapped into are like, they're about subjects that I know are going to rub people the wrong way, so it's going to be a talking matter, you know? So I just wonder how y'all feel.
Exactly how I want to say it and not worrying about anything for anyone. This album is me doing something for myself. It's me saying exactly what I want to say, exactly how I want to say it, and not worrying about how anybody else is going to feel about it. I stopped going to therapy years ago because I was tired of getting feedback from people on things that only I could understand. But this album was therapy for me. I literally had to make this album. If I didn't make this album, I would be retired right now. Seriously. Because after years and years and years of doing this,
so I gotta run that back. That therapy shit kind of interesting.
Only I could understand. Because I was tired of getting feedback from people on things that only I could understand. But this album was therapy for me. I literally had to make this album. If I didn't make this album, I would be retired right now. Seriously. Because after years and years and years of doing this, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. This album isn't me picking my tired ass up off the ground and dragging myself across the finish line. This album is me picking myself up off the ground and dragging myself back to the beginning. For years, I tried to push the envelope song after song after song after song after song, and I said crazier and crazier and crazier things.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, what is exhausting you? You know? Because as a dude that's, like, outside looking in, trying to get to that spot, it's like, what is exhausting about that? Is it the constant having to go to the studio, tour, shows, appearances, that creative process? Is that exhausting? Or is it this constant pursuit of like staying relevant or going viral, or like where is the exhaustion coming from? Is it the subject matters that you know what I mean? What specifically is it?
Back to the beginning. For years, I tried to push the envelope song after song after song after song after song, and I said crazier and crazier and crazier things, and we shot bigger and bigger and bigger videos, and we used wilder and wilder and wilder CGI, and I loved it. But it's only part of who I am. I am very aware of how the world sees me. They think I'm just the crazy guy with the face tattoos and the piercings and the braids who has really offensive opinions about the world. The world doesn't like me very much, and that's fine because I don't like them very much either. And I am that guy. I own that. But there is a lot more to me than the judgment the world has passed and the things people say. And this new album is going to show the world parts of me.
I do have a question about when you say judgment is passed. I always wonder about that because you say it's like you're intentionally showing a side of yourself and giving the people what they want and becoming hyper aware of what works for you. And you haven't, it sounds like, you know what I mean? You shied away or gotten away from showing your true self. So, you know what I mean? Is that a judgment or is that more like a realistic viewpoint of where you're at right now?
The world has passed and the things people say. And this new album is going to show the world parts of me that they have never seen before. When people hear this album, I don't want them to think they have me figured out. When people hear this album, I want them to know who I am. I mean, when's the last time you really knew an artist? Because a lot of artists don't even tell their own story anymore. They don't speak from the heart and they don't share their real opinions about life. They're afraid of showing the world who they are. They're scared to wipe off the makeup and take off the chains and put away the crazy outfits because they're too concerned with what's going to make them popular. Or maybe they're just so terrified of being unpopular that they bury themselves under millions of layers of marketability. Artists have become horrified with how the world is going to react if they show the world who they really are.
I feel that. I feel that, but I agree with what he's saying. But at this moment in time, I think that's how you cut through. Is you just show who the fuck you are and don't give a fuck. Like the people that cut through or reach the top so fast, it's because it's like they're naturally them. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think like. I just think those people are just naturally them. Even like something that's crazy as like a Sexy Red. I don't be thinking Sexy Red be pretending. I really think that's her. It might be what he's saying, a side or a version of her. But I just think when you start to be your authentic self and not give a fuck, that's really when you can, you know what I mean, truly ascend. Because it's either people going to either rock with it or not rock with it.
Scared of what the world is going to say about them. And that is the wall that I wanted to break down with this new album. I've had people threaten my life and harass my family and try to tear me down for years. I've got used to folks saying the most horrible things that you can imagine about me. And it happens so frequently that it's just lost its effect. They can't hurt me anymore. They've already done everything that they can do and it didn't work. That is the place this album comes from. This new album on April 25th is fearless because I have nothing to be afraid of anymore. So with this new album, I felt invincible. I can say whatever the fuck I want and I'm not worried about the repercussions. I can give you pieces of me that I never thought I'd be comfortable with giving you and I'm not worried about the fallout. I made a promise to myself when I started making this album. I don't care what's marketable. I don't care what will get me the approval of the masses. I don't care what will gain me popularity. I don't care what will get me fans or make me lose fans.
This is so interesting because as I've gotten on this journey, he just doesn't seem like a person that gives a fuck about that. It's like, it was like intentionally doing the opposite. You know what I mean? So it's so interesting to me that he's giving a fuck about it. You know what I mean? Like, because the choices he's made in the music are not, you know what I mean? Choices that you make for acceptance. You know? So it's so weird to me that there's like this like quest of being accepted, of not being, you know what I mean? Not being your true, not accepting your true self. When it's very weird. You know what I mean? Like, I just wouldn't expect that.
I don't care what will me popularity. I don't care what will get me fans or make me lose fans. I don't care what will generate more clicks. I don't care what will get more views. All I cared.
When he says generate more clicks, though, I do get the feeling that Tom is obsessive about numbers slightly. Like, I think he's very obsessive about that. You know, and checking that, like, specifically like the analytics of it. Not just like, y'all got the #1 song, which I do think he cares about because I've seen him post and being like, we're blah, blah, on trending and stuff like that and put an emphasis on where the song is placing. You know what I mean? So he must care about that. But this seems even more like, and like, you know what I mean? Just hyper obsessive about the analytics.
Was making the most authentic album possible. I don't want people to just see the controversy. I want people to see the man behind it. And the man behind it never wanted to be famous. He never needed his face on TV or up on a billboard or in a magazine. And before all of the #1s and the billions of views and the interviews and the spotlights and all that, he was just a dude who had a lot of problems and made music to let other people know that they weren't alone in their problems. And guess what? I'm still that dude. I didn't outgrow my problems. I didn't defeat addiction. I didn't conquer my mental illness. Money didn't make my problems go away, and fame didn't make me feel any better. I just got really good at ignoring the things that didn't make me feel good. And I started listening to my head and not my heart. On this new album.
My pops always tell me to listen to your head, not the heart, though.
And mental illness, money didn't make my problems go away, and fame didn't.
And it's reinforcing the point that money don't change shit, just amplify who you are. You know what I mean?
Me feel any better. I just got really good at ignoring the things that didn't make me feel good. And I started listening to my head and not my heart. On this new album, I'm not listening to my head anymore. I am only listening to my heart. I spent a long time in poverty. I spent most of my life with absolutely...
I said my pop said you gotta listen with your head and not your heart. But when it comes to music, you definitely gotta lead with the heart. Cause that's where the soul is at. That's how you freestyle. Like how these artists freestyle their music now, and it's because they're deleting the process of thinking. For better or worse, but it just comes from the straight soul. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? Because it makes it more authentic. Because you're not overthinking how you feel. You just fucking just say it. You know what I mean?
Nothing. And when you spend your whole long time in poverty, I spent most of my life with absolutely nothing. And when you spend your whole life losing, it is really difficult to focus on anything other than winning after you get a taste of it. And that's what I've done for years. But I don't care if this album is a winner. I just want it to be the most honest look at who I am as I can possibly give you. Behind the crazy face tattoos and the piercings and the braids and the grills and the viral songs, I want you to know the man behind the music. This album is essentially an autobiography. They say that the front windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason. Because it's more important to look ahead than it is to look back. And while I believe that to be true, it can also be a
That's a bar. I never heard that. That's a bar.
dangerous it is to look back. And while I believe that to be true, it can also be a very dangerous way to live your life. Because sometimes you get so focused on what's in front of you that you forget about where you're going entirely. And you know what's even more important than the front windshield and the rear view mirror? Directions. Because you can spend your whole life racing down a road at top speed and still never get where you wanted to go. Sometimes you gotta stop and make sure you're on the right road. This new album on April 25th, this is the right road. Or maybe it's not, but it's a different road, and it's a road that I need to travel. And I hope you all decide to ride with me. I've made a lot of albums.
Yeah, he was just killing that low key. He just killed that whole bar. Cause it says, "And I need you to ride with me." And he started this bar off with talking about the front windshield and the rear view windshield. And he just continued that bar. Like, bro was just rapping low key. That was kind of tough.
I need to travel. And
directions, the travel, like all of that shit is like, he's been on this bar. All this set it up. I need you to come ride with me.
You all decide to ride with me. I've made a lot of albums for a lot of people. I made this album for me. I've always felt like there's so many folks who never get heard. There's so many people who don't have a voice in this world. And for years and years and years and years, I've tried to speak for them. On this album, I needed to speak for myself this time. And I hope you hear your voices in my own. On April 25th at 9 a.m., I
hope you hear your voices in my own. That's another bar right there.
Releasing the greatest collection of 23 songs that I have ever created in my entire life. The only place on planet Earth you'll be able to find it is www.hangovergang.com. I've thought about retiring a million times over the past few years, and with how good I feel about this album, I could walk away after this one. Don't worry, I'm not going to. Because this album isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning of something incredibly special.
He's barred up.
It's the beginning of recapturing what I think was missing. Me. I haven't dropped a solo album in almost 3 years, and usually when I drop a solo album, I drop 2 at once. I'm not doing that this time. I'm dropping 1 album, and that's it. And all the energy and time and passion and blood and sweat and tears that is typically split between 2 projects all went in to this 1 album. I've been told my entire life that I'm a problem. I have tried to fix myself more times than I care to remember. But I've finally reached a place in my life where I'm not trying to fix myself anymore. I'm proud to be a problem. And I know
it's like, you probably it's so crazy because it's like, when I've been watching these videos, no matter what video I watch, whether it's this year, 7 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever the timeline is, it's so much attention to detail in it, you know? So it's just so interesting for this to be the perspective when it's like, man, it just seems like it's the complete opposite.
Myself anymore. My life where I'm not trying to fix myself anymore. I'm proud to be a problem. And I know there's millions of problems out there who feel just like me. Be at hangovergang.com, 9 a.m. sharp on Friday, April 25th. My albums sell out every year, and this one, I promise you, this is my first solo album in 3 years. This one's gonna be gone quick. Trust me, you do not want to miss this.
Gone quick.
I love you guys from the bottom of my heart.
Gone quick? Is it going? Does he just sell limited copies? Cause that's a whole nother level of shit I've never even heard of. You just sell limited copies? Like, that's crazy to me.
I can't. It's my first solo album in 3 years. This one's gonna be gone quick. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I cannot wait for you to experience this album. I cannot wait to hear what you think, and I can't wait for you to get to know me. It's Hangover Gang forever. Love you guys.
Damn. New album, y'all ready, man? I'm fucking excited. I think that was a great rollout. I like the backdrop. I like the honesty in him and just talking, you know. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. It was a good way to say how this album is going to be different from his previous ones, but also made it interesting enough that you want to go back and check out his previous ones. So it makes me also feel like maybe I tapped into time at the right time. You know, it seems like he's doing a lot of change right now. So this is kind of like the perfect time to kind of, you know what I mean, cross paths with his music. So shit, I'm excited. But man, yeah, I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all appreciate me. Until the next time though, man, don't forget the $sign. It's Chad Star Taylor. You already know the vibes, man.
Yeah. I've been chasing my dreams while dealing with it. Yeah. Check. I've been chasing my dreams while dealing with